Radio Hour heard on AM 560.
The Answer.
I am with attorney Stephen Leahy, our host, and with the most guys and ladies and germs. Remember, open tax resolution is
a high school joke that the Kavanaugh would say.
Remember
in high school.
Remember, open tax resolution is there for you. 312-664-6649 or visit ChicagoTaxTeam.com. It's going to be your hub of my TIRS. Also,
hub.
Turn your phone off and start being professional.
I'm checking the sound, Jim. One thing that we don't have to check so much, though, because...
I'm getting you a pair of earphones for your birthday so you can check it.
No, because now it's this new camera, as I have raved about, it has eliminated a lot of the trouble.
We were watching the Cubs...
Technical difficulties erased.
Yes. It's so much easier. It really is. Much better.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm also Jim Leahy with At Properties. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, let's start planning for tomorrow, today. Give me a call, Jim Leahy, 847-271-3695, or 3695 again, Jim Leahy with At Properties, 847-271-3695. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions on the home loan, or not the home loan process, but I can answer that too, but how the process works, give me a call. I'll sit down with you, and we'll go over step by step how this is going to work out so that you don't get sidetracked or sidestepped by, throughout the whole process. Because that happens a lot, too, where people think, oh, it's going to be this easy, and all of a sudden, it's just this long, drawn-out process.
Remember, we did a segment on that show. Oh, and you can find it on our YouTube channel, which is where you're watching us, if you're watching us. Of course, if you're not watching us, then you're not hearing me.
Well, it's tough because Joe Rogan is live right now.
Or if they're listening to you, they can also find live. You on the YouTube channel.
You're not live.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, we're not on.
Never mind.
This is not part of the show. This is part of the show, but it's not part of the show. Okay, so we're going to talk a lot. Today we're going to talk about lots of stuff. We're going to talk about, of course, we're going to talk about Kavanaugh and the... Oh, was that you with the sound coming out after you just chastised me about the sound?
Check the sound on. Turn it down though, for real.
Is it too loud?
It sounded a little too.
Oh, turn it back.
Yes. Turn that down.
If I can.
Yeah, turn it down there too.
Right.
Turn that down.
That's better. Okay. Good.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to start up right now. Let me just put this on Facebook, the link.
Remember now, the Cubs are playing. So Jimmy and I are Cub fans.
So we need to...
if you're not a Cub fan, it's okay. You can still watch the show. You can. I'm okay with that. We have changed. Today we're going to talk about... What am I going to talk about on the blog segment? I am going to talk about...
The new show.
Should I talk about the new show?
Yes.
Didn't we do that already?
No.
Okay, we'll talk about the new show. That's very good, because we'll talk about the new show. Matter of fact, I've been talking about the new show because that's going to be the cover story of my next newsletter. I am doing a newsletter. I have been doing a newsletter for some time.
The Truth Squad? What are you calling it?
It's going to be called Trust Radio Network.
Trust Radio Network, starring the Truth Squad.
That's very good. I'll have to consider that.
Wonder Twin Powers activate. Form of a tax write-off.
That was good, Jim. You amaze me sometimes.
Form of a bucket of water.
Oh, that's tougher.
That's all I can do.
Ready to do the show?
Let us do the show.
Pursuant to Internal Revenue Service guidance, be advised that any federal tax advice contained in this program is not intended to be used, and it cannot be used by any person or entity for the purpose of avoiding any tax penalties that may be imposed by the Internal Revenue Service or any other U.S. federal taxing authority or agency, or promoting, marketing, or recommending to another party any transaction or matter addressed in this show. The opinions expressed by the host and the guests are their own and may not be used as authoritative advice. Any use of this material without the written consent of the host is strictly prohibited.
You're listening to the IRS Radio Hour with your host, Attorney Stephen Leahy, on AM 560, The Answer. Tune in every week at 5 for an informative discussion about IRS obligations, credit card debt, mortgage default, collection activity, and how to resolve these legal issues using tax resolution, debt settlement, mortgage loan modification, foreclosure defense, and bankruptcy. Your host is Stephen Leahy, and the principal at Open Tax Resolutions and the Law Office of Stephen Leahy, PC. Stephen is the author of Deal with Your IRS Problems Today. IRS and debt issues are serious, but there is help. There are resolutions. So get ready and take notes during the IRS Radio Hour. And now, here's your host, Attorney Stephen Leahy.
Hello, Chicago taxpayers. We're here in our home at Studio C at AM 560 The Answer. This is the IRS Radio Hour.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
Now remember, the show's sponsored by the Law Office of Stephen A. Leahy, PC, and Open Tax Resolutions.
God bless you, Open Tax Resolution.
Oh, there it goes again. Makes me chuckle all the time. Remember now, Open helps people solve IRS problems. We help people with audits and levies, liens and garnishments, collections, unfiled tax returns, and payroll tax issues. We also help people with mortgage foreclosures, loan modifications, bankruptcy, and other debt-related issues. So if you have any of these problems, or if you know someone who does, you should give us a call at 312-664-6649. Again, that number's 312-664-6649, or visit us on the web at chicagotaxteam.com. I'm not going to tell you about our YouTube channel, although I just did, or our Facebook page, which I just did too. I am your host. I'm Attorney Stephen Leahy, and I wanted to introduce our technical producer, Deborah Schreiner.
Hey, guys.
Hello,
Happy
Deborah.
fall.
It is.
Good to see you both.
It is fall.
Okay, and I also want to introduce my nephew, my co-host, my very good friend and realtor, Jim Leahy.
He's entirely ethical, is a really decent person. He is warm, friendly, unassuming. He's the nicest person.
Thank you, Lindsay.
I didn't even know you knew Lindsay.
I didn't, but I do now. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning into the IRS Radio Hour. Heard on AM 560.
The Answer.
Ladies and gentlemen, not only do we talk about those things that Attorney Stephen Leahy brought up, but we talk about other stuff that pertains to you. And ladies and gentlemen, remember, we could always start thinking about tomorrow today. If you're planning on moving 2019, me, Jim Leahy with That Properties, Jim Leahy with That Properties, will help you get to your dream home, or we'll sell it. And we'll get you to Wisconsin. Anyway, give me a call, 847-271-3695. And I don't want to delay anymore. I'm going to pull a Democrat and just delay. But I'm not going to do it no more. We're going right into it. The News Roundup.
Review and comment on the news.
And we got a lot this week, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm going to interrupt you because I didn't want you to. I wanted to delay because I wanted to wish my wife a very happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary.
That's news.
Yes, it is news. And so it's our 21st. It was our 21st wedding anniversary on the 27th.
Congratulations.
Of September. Yes, it was the best 21 years of my life.
Did they fly by?
They did fly by. It is amazing how fast time goes. Never think when you're dating that that 20 years later she'll still be there. And there she is. Of course, now we have children and home and business, and it's amazing. It's when you stop and think about it. I am in a kind of a look back period because it's my birthday too. So, and I am. Oh. That's surprising. Thank you, Deborah. And I turned 56 years old on Saturday, the 29th. Is that weird? We got married at and then 2 days later, so she kind of stole my birthday from me, which is fine. I don't I don't really care about my birthday too much, but I don't care about this year. I'm caring about the birthday only because I'm a big Cub fan. But let's talk about the big thing going on, and our guy Lindsey Graham, who's never been my guy really. But this week is my guy.
He stepped up a big way.
And I'm going to say,
he stepped up.
I was going to talk about Kavanaugh, but he did such a great job. I'm going to let Lindsey Graham tell us about it.
Did you meet with Senator Dianne Feinstein on August 20th?
I did meet with Senator Feinstein.
Did you know that her staff had already recommended a lawyer to Dr. Ford?
I did not know that.
Did you know that her and her staff had this allegations for over 20 days?
I did not know that at the time.
If you wanted an FBI investigation, you could have come to us. What you want to do is destroy this guy's life, hold this seat open, and hope you win in 2020. You've said that, not me. You've got nothing to apologize for. When you see Sotomayor and Kagan, tell them that Lindsey said hello, because I voted for them. I would never do to them what you've done to this guy. This is the most unethical sham since I've been in politics. And if you really wanted to know the truth, you sure as hell wouldn't have done what you've done to this guy.
He's right.
He's absolutely
right because it's used that they're wielding it as a like a magic wand.
I wish we had these
the card
clips,
on the table
because we could. There's clips of Chuck Schumer, right? What before he was even nominated anybody.
If you truly,
whoever it is, we're not going to put him in.
If you truly cared about this woman, you guys wouldn't have done what you did.
The woman is just
they're taking advantage of her.
Like yes. She was used by them. She might have been used. She was used by these Democrats.
I mean, I don't think she feels that way after getting $900,000 in the GoFundMe account.
We want to talk GoFundMe account, $900,000, and they say, "What benefit do you have? This is ruining your life. What benefit do you have of?" Well, you mean, or like Anita Hill ruined her life. She became she went on to academia, became a folk hero to so many, made lots of money on it. She did. And the same thing's going to happen with this woman.
The problem is what I wanted to do, ladies and gentlemen. I was going to bring a book on. I was going to read "The Boy Who Cried Wolf," because this is what happens when you politicize something like this. You start wielding something as serious as an allegation as this. You start delegitimizing stuff like this, and now women who, in the future, who have this sort of claim, who have this terrible thing happen to them, you're delegitimizing it. Because you start for what? For politics.
It's just like he said. It's all about politics.
All for politics.
It's all about. They said.
Boy, y'all want power. God, I hope you never get it.
I hope none of y'all ever get it.
Hope none of y'all ever get it. And that's really the crux of the whole thing. It's all about power. They know that this Supreme Court seat is really pivotal. That's why didn't they do it to this other guy? Because it was still 5-4. Kennedy kind of went both ways, but now with him on there, and if he gets on the Supreme Court, I hope he does, and I don't see why he wouldn't. I know that now Flake come out and wants another week, and I think that's ridiculous. We talked about this the
only reason why they're doing that is because the
Supreme Court session begins October 1st, and if he's not seated, and he won't be now, that the longer they go, the more of these cases they're going to come up with these important cases that are being heard.
He won't be on this session.
He won't be able to rule on them, and they'll only have 8 judges, and these might go 4-4, and they're going to stay.
What did we say before? It's all fun, and it's like Harry Reid. Hey, do it now. But when it gets done to you,
this goes back to this whole thing. This is why we had this 60 vote requirement. So you had to talk to one another. You had to get together. You had to, and now you don't have to. It was a tool to make
ruined everything.
And so now we've never been more partisan than we are right now.
Never more partisan.
And I usually don't say that because we've always been partisan. Okay, it's always been partisan.
But compromise is, as Shelby Foote says, that's what Americans are known for, is compromise.
Well, I agree.
That's what we're known for.
I know that. Well, we're known for.
But it's the saddest thing, ladies and gentlemen, in this state of affairs that we come to this point. I
agree. And and this whole and everybody watched it. I listened to it. I watched it.
I want to just clarify one thing here at the IRS Radio Hour. We're not saying she didn't.
No,
she's wrong.
You don't have to clarify.
There's something
We've
there.
never said that.
But I don't think, again,
But it wasn't him.
There's no evidence to support that it was him.
And
that's the most important thing. Anyway,
and if he's an honorable man,
hold on, let's stop. We got a great show lined up for you today, ladies and gentlemen, with the blog segment.
We're going to talk about our new show that we're going to have.
Shut up.
And we're going to talk about what that show is going to be about.
And then we're going to be doing the
work.
Trump segment because we got some stuff to talk about the whole Brett Kavanaugh thing. Then we're also going to be doing the Mr. Know-It-All. And we're going to talk a little bit about the Chicago Cubs. Now, we record Friday show or Sunday, so we don't really know what happened during the week.
Nervous.
But we'll still talk about it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Open Tax Resolution is there for you. 312-664-6649 to visit ChicagoTaxTeam.com. It's going to be your hub to fight the IRS. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Jim Leahy with That Properties. If you're looking to sell tomorrow, let's start talking about it today. 847-271-3695. Stay tuned. Listen to our sponsors. Come back because we got a great show lined up for you on AM 560. The Answer.
Woohoo! It goes so that sometimes they go by so fast. The segments, I don't get to talk about anything I really want to talk about. Oh, let me pull up my notes. I guess I should do that. I have these notes about the show.
When are you starting your new show,
well,
Steven?
I'm in debates. I wanted to do it October.
It's in the works.
It's in the works. They sent me the contract.
You're live.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Don't.
What?
You're hoping soon?
Oh yeah, it's gonna. I'm gonna do it sometime in. I hope October, November probably, the latest. So I wanted to start.
We're doing a new show either way, if it's on here or not, because we have the live stream capability now. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we're a lot better now with our camera angles and everything. So you're hearing a little bit of insight in between commercials. Remember, Open Tax Resolution is there for you. 312-664-6649 and visit ChicagoTaxTeam.com. It's going to be your hub to fight the IRS. Also, too, ladies and gentlemen, if you need a hub for your real estate, well, look up Jim Leahy, real estate agent, on Facebook. I update it weekly. Actually, I update it multiple times a week, so you guys can be aware of what's going on in the housing market. And if you are interested, send me your email, and I'll get you up-to-date market information every month.
Well, thanks for that, Jimmy.
But you could do that through Facebook. That's what's cool about it. That's what's amazing about Facebook. You can send me a message, and if you want to get an idea of what it's like, the Chicago housing market's like, let me get your. Just give me your. Just go ahead and give me your email. Just go ahead and give me it.
Okay.
Ready for the blog?
Let's do the blog.
So I can send it to you.
Welcome back to the IRS Radio Hour with attorney Stephen Leahy. Stephen has helped hundreds of Chicagoans recover from financial disaster, and he wants to help you and your family. There are resolutions, and you will hear about all those resolutions during today's informative discussion on the IRS Radio Hour on AM 560 The Answer. Now, here's your host, attorney Stephen Leahy.
Welcome back. I am your host. I'm attorney Stephen Leahy. This is the IRS Radio Hour on AM 560.
The Answer.
Here with Deborah and Jim, and having lots of fun. But let's go into the next segment.
It's the blog segment. The blog. The blog.
As you know, I always talk about what's going on in my office on the blog segment.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes.
So what's going on this week?
Well, and we're working on a new show.
No,
and
I knew that.
A new radio show, but it's also going to be a podcast because we do as you know, we do a podcast on Friday afternoons because we record the show on Friday afternoons. And so we're going to do a podcast. And really what this comes down to is, because I've been on the radio now for about 4 years here, and it's given me an opportunity to meet a lot of great people. And in different avenues. We've had someone on the show. We had Tom Sadeka's been on our show. Jim Morisi's been on our show.
Have you met any really good people on Park Avenue Beat? Isn't that what the Perry Mason
That's
song
a song,
is called?
yes. I met some good people here on the other side of the glass. See that? See what I did there?
Thank
Deborah?
you.
And so, when we were talking about one way lawyers get to is we do a lot of networking, right? And so I thought, well, what's the best way? What can I do that I could help people out there, people who listen to our show, trust me, and again, that's a big part of it, right? Is that
we spoke
try
about
to build
that
trust
on several times on our show about how you really are for the people. I mean, you're really for your clients. Not even your clients, but if somebody calls with a question, you answer. You make a.
So I have a whole list of local people who help people do very much the same thing I do. When you call, you talk to them. They'll take your call. They'll answer your questions. They're not always trying to make every dollar they can from you. They're in the end, they're just trying to help. And you make a good living if you do that, because people need people that they can trust exactly. You're not afraid that they're trying to make a dollar on you every time you turn around, right? Now you're going to need them, and you're going to pay if you need them. You're going to pay
Exactly.
But just to get questions answered and to know that the guy's not so I got a guy an auto mechanic by my house. I trust the guy because I can tell you if I bring in my car and there's nothing wrong with it, he doesn't fix it, okay? Because with something like, hey, don't worry about it. This is an easy thing, and he'll fix it for free if it's just I don't have to worry the guy lying to me and creating a problem that doesn't exist and charging me for things that don't.
That's pivotal.
And it's the same thing with law. We talked about
it's the same thing with real estate.
It's the same thing in real estate. It's the same thing and we talk about medical people, dentists and chiropractors and other lawyers. We had Larry Smith in here about consumer law. Jim Marisi, who's a PI attorney, which is personal injury attorneys, DUI attorneys. So you don't want to use these guys, but when you need them, who do you turn to? Because you don't know because you don't need these guys all the time. And so when it's your time, then you're going to do a search, and whether you're going to find them on Google or not is not. So one of the things we're going to do is we're going to have video clips. We're going to interview them. We're going to learn about them. They're going to introduce themselves to you. They're going to answer important questions, and you're going to be able to find that on our site. It's going to be called the Trust Radio Network, and the Trust Radio Network will have a website, and you can go to the website and watch the videos of these people. And again, but they will answer your questions and they will build your trust before you do any business with them.
But one of the main things with the Trust Radio Network, it's going to be pivotal, is the fact that you're going to have to bookmark this page, because if you're going to need somebody, we got the guy. We have the trusted professional. We have the trusted guy. So that's what's going to be great about it. There's going to be a bio for him too. You're going to get more information. And if you want to contact him, we'll get you in touch with them.
That's where referrals come in, okay? Because when you know someone, referral is just somebody that you trust. You call them and say, "Do you know someone that you trust? Also, I trust you. Then I will trust them that you recommend me to, right? I refer you out." So again, one of the people that I refer out a lot, David Hochberg, and we talk. He's on this station, and
I've worked pretty extensively with Pearl
and I know
Mortgage.
you have worked with Pearl Mortgage, but David's a lot like me in the sense that if you call, David takes calls all the time.
Exactly.
On a Sunday, if you listen to his show, you'll hear he talks about this all the time, and he gives free information away, and he helps people even if he's not going to make any money on them, because he's a local professional who's trying to help people, and a lot of people like that in the home repair business, for instance. Mm-hmm. There's guys there that I trust, and that's another one where it's wide open, because like roofing people or even the waterproofing guys or any of these guys that you're going to need, how can you trust them? You don't know.
Exactly.
And so that's why I want to introduce you to people that I trust, that you can trust, I think, because I wouldn't put them on if I didn't think you could trust them.
I mean, this is an exclusive club. You don't get to This isn't
It's
something
true.
that you could just throw money at. You have to be offered this position. You have to prove that you are one of these trusted professionals, one of these people that are able to go through the hoops and hurdles and make sure that it's not about the money. It's about making sure that you service the public, make sure that people are taken care of.
Exactly.
You know, the money's a side thing.
So we said, legal people. So if you PI attorneys,
I love it when people
DUI
say that
attorneys,
too. Goes well.
tax,
It's always, I love it
consumer
when people,
law.
Yeah, I love it when people do that too. It's always about the money. Jim, at the end of the day, it's always about the money. No, you have to understand. You have to love what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
If you love what you're doing, and you're sitting there and you get a joy out of helping people, the money is just a reward for what you're doing. It's not the main focus.
If that's all you focus is on money, then you're not really helping the people.
Exactly.
Right? And people will pay you to help them. So, but if you're not helping them because you're worried about the money, why are they paying you? Because you're not really helping them. Again, it's all about getting good information from trusted people that you can rely on. And these are important areas of your life. Again, with legal matters, medical matters, financial matters.
Exactly.
Home repair matters. These are all important areas where it's big ticket items that you don't want to be taken advantage of.
Some pretty large aspects of your life we're going to aggregate and hopefully get you in touch with so that you guys don't have to. We take the hassle out of you guys worrying about should I trust this guy? No, look,
and again, there's a good team together because a lot of us work together a lot. So again, we talked about David Hochberg, Gary Novell, who we've had on the show,
who's the
credit guru. Okay, so you work on his credit. Go to Jimmy to buy the home. Go to David to get the loan. All of them work together very well. They know each other, and they're all trusted. They're all trusted professionals, and so you could put that team together to work for you. And it's the same thing with lawyers, and the same thing with the financial people and doctors. These are things that you need. And that's why the show is going to be really focused on what you need and bringing you trusted professionals that have this information that's important to you. And so that's what the show is going to be about.
Well, I think it's very important, too, that
I think it'll start out the first week of November.
We don't know the actual date.
I don't know.
We'll see.
But I'll let you know.
Of course, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to be... You know what's great?
I do know it's going to be, again, we're going to do more of a podcast on Friday afternoon, so you're going to be able to see it live, and it's going to broadcast on Saturday night, I believe, at 10 o'clock. Saturday at 10 o'clock.
You know what's going to be great? Is we're going to be all over this station.
Yeah. Well,
I know you already are.
I'm not. I will be. And we're going to, again, the podcast is going to be important. It's an important part of it. Because radio love radio. And here we are giving you all this information, and it's just another avenue to give you this information.
Remember, video killed the radio star, so you can get video clips.
Radio is not dead, so I know that.
No,
I know people think it will be, but it's still a trusted way to get information, and that's why we do the show, and that's what we're going to do for you. So again, watch for it. On Facebook, listen for
YouTube, pretty much.
Listen for it here on AM 560. The answer,
and you'll know when the Trust Radio Network comes on, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you're enjoying the show. We got a lot more coming up, but before we do, I want you to remember Open Tax Resolution is there for you. 312-664-6649 and visit ChicagoTaxTeam.com. It's going to be your hub to fight the IRS. Also, too, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Jim Leahy with Ad Properties. If you're thinking about moving tomorrow, let's start talking about it today. Give me a call, 847-271-3695. Again, 847-271-3695. And stay tuned, listen to our sponsors, and come right back here on that great station, AM 560.
The answer. Putting your number up on there, Jim.
I like that.
Did you see it?
You should put your number up there, Opum.
I did. But I put it out here in the corner so they could see your number.
Cubs are starting to scare me.
What's the score?
Almost hit a home run. It was almost
What's the score?
4-2.
You don't play games with me. Answer the question. So we're going to do a Trump segment? Do we have some Trump? You had that clip of Trump talking about this Kavanaugh thing. Maybe we can get a little.
Oh my God!
What happened? Home run?
Bad throw. Took him off the base. Why Why are they throwing the ball errantly? I mean,
Errantly?
you know what I meant.
I'm not watching the game, Jim. Oh, I thought he. Oh. How many outs are there? Is that the leadoff?
One. Men on first and second.
Really?
Top of the seventh.
Oh, shit.
I'm going to rely on all of the people, including Senator Grassley, who's doing a very good job. That'll be a decision that they're going to make, and a decision that they're going to make, and a decision that they're going to make, and I suspect they'll be making some decision soon, whether to take a vote or to do whatever else they want to do. I will be totally reliant on what Senator Grassley and the group decides to do.
$782. That's a great deal. Liberty Mutual, that's a great company.
A very fine woman to me. Very fine woman. And I thought that Brett's testimony likewise was really something that I haven't seen before. It was incredible. It was an incredible moment, I think, in the history of our country. But certainly she was a very credible witness. She was very good in many respects. And I think that I don't know if this is going to continue onward or are we going to get a vote. But again, I'm here, so I'm not out there watching because I can't be. Out of great respect, although maybe we'll go watch together. Okay, we'll watch together. But I think it will work out very well for the country. I just want it to work out well for the country. If that happens, I'm happy.
Have you thought at all about a replacement for Judge Kavanaugh?
Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit.
What's your message to Murkowski and colleagues?
I have no message. I mean, they have to do what they think is right. There's no message whatsoever. They have to do what they think is right. They have to be comfortable with themselves, and I'm sure that's what they are.
Would you be willing to reopen the background investigation into Kavanaugh?
I'm going to rely on all of the people, including Senator Grassley, who's doing a very good job. That'll be a decision that they're going to make, and I suspect they'll be making some decision soon, whether to take a vote or to do whatever else they want to do. I will be totally reliant on what Senator Grassley and the group decides to do. Okay? We're going to talk about Venezuela. I was waiting for that question. We will be discussing Venezuela, among many other things. A lot of interesting things going on in that part of the world. But Chile is really something special. If you look at what they've done, how far they've come, you look at how well run the country is. So I just want to say it's an honor to be with you. A great honor. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.
Delay is okay. Delay a little bit.
Thank you. Whatever they think is necessary is okay.
Thank you.
We'll see what happens. I know he wants to meet with us. We'll see what happens. Venezuela's a mess, and it's got to be cleaned up, and people have to be taken care of. Thank you very much.
He seems to be better now at staying focused. And did you notice that too, or is that just me thinking that? That Trump in the last couple of weeks has been more focused and seems to be, seems to be more. I don't want to say presidential, but I think they say you're going to grow into the job. Of course, they hate him. And that's what this is all about, right? This whole Kavanaugh thing is about the Trump haters.
So did you want any of that clip?
No, I didn't hear anything in there.
What was the thing you heard him say that you
he
wanted?
was talking about Kavanaugh, and I just wanted to. I thought I hit.
When did he do that?
He did he was talking about him
Today?
Yeah, he was talking about him at the beginning of that segment you were just playing. He was talking about Kavanaugh and everything they do is fine. Again, I think, but I didn't really hear anything. So we could talk about him. We'll talk about Trump as it pertains to Kavanaugh, and there's a lot to be said about that. I think again, his support of Kavanaugh has been unwavering, and that's huge. Because I think a lot of people like George W. Bush probably would have been wavering. They're afraid of everything. They're afraid of their own shadow. And Trump is not afraid of his own shadow. He's not even afraid of my shadow. The shadow knows. Oh, Jim, October's coming up. We're going to do the.
Yeah, we're going to be doing our. I have a conspiracy for you.
Okay.
Facebook Live not playing the Cubs.
That is a conspiracy. Okay.
Oh no!
What happened?
I don't know. I'm reading comments. It doesn't look good. I don't know.
This is U.S. President Donald Trump. He's welcoming the president of Chile, and Trump is making these comments ahead of their meeting just moments ago. Let's watch.
That's great. Mr. President, any comment on the request for a delay from Senator Flake? He wants a 1-week delay so the FBI can investigate further.
Well, I'm going to let the Senate handle that. They'll make their decisions, and they've done a good job. Very professional. I'm just hearing a little bit about it because I've been with the president of Chile, and we're talking about some very important subjects. But I'm sure it will all be very good. I guess the vote was a positive vote, but there seems to be a delay. I'll learn more about it as the day goes because we were together.
And what did you think of Dr. Ford's testimony when you heard that?
I thought her testimony was very compelling, and she looks like a very fine woman to me. Very fine woman. And I thought that Brett's testimony, likewise, was really something that I haven't seen before. It was incredible. It was an incredible moment, I think, in the history of our country. But certainly she was a very credible witness. She was very good in many respects. And I think that I don't know if this is going to continue onward or are we going to get a vote. But again, I'm here, so I'm not out there watching because I can't be. Out of great respect, although maybe we'll go watch together. Okay, we'll watch together. But I think it will work out very well for the country. I just want it to work out well for the country. If that happens, I'm happy.
Have you thought at all about a replacement for Judge Kavanaugh?
Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit.
What's your message to Murkowski and colleagues?
I have no message. I mean, they have to do what they think is right. There's no message whatsoever. They have to do what they think is right. They have to be comfortable with themselves, and I'm sure that's what they are.
Maybe just that little bit that says, have you thought about a replacement for Kavanaugh? And then he says, not even a little bit, because I'm going to talk about him supporting him, an unwavering support. Jim.
What?
I love this camera.
Well, tell them that we're live streaming and tell them why we're watching. We're getting this set up, ladies and gentlemen, so we can do our next segment, which will be starting shortly. But
the Trump segment.
Open tax resolution is there for you. 312-664-6649 to visit ChicagoTaxTeam.com.
We're going to listen to Deborah Singh.
Oh, because she's talking about Trump?
Yeah. Talk about Trump.
President Trump?
President Trump. I was just mentioning, and you were listening, that I think that Trump has turned his last couple of weeks is really like this here, him talking to this woman about Ford, Blasey Ford, in such high regard. You would think that he's going to trash her or something like that, and he doesn't. He has not trashed her. He's held her up as, she's very likable,
Again,
honest.
she's a credible witness, but
Yes.
it's just like there's nothing. There's no evidence to support it. Yet. I don't know.
I don't think there's not, from 36 years ago, you're not going to find any evidence. Then you see you saw the two guys came up and said they were the ones that raped her, or not? They didn't rape her. They assaulted her. Did you see that? I don't know.
Yeah, I heard something about that.
I didn't see much about that though. But I heard someone say the guy's crazy, something like that. I think it was like one of the senators said that. And then you had these other allegations. And again, they can keep bringing all these allegations out.
Oh, there's a tsunami that just hit.
What?
Indonesia. Oh my goodness. Look at this. I've never seen footage like this ever in my life. Look at this.
Last time it was
No, look. This is worse. Look. Give it a second. Wait. Look at how intense it is. Boom. Took everything out.
It's not tsunamis and the wave. I mean, the initial wave is the killer. But it's also when it goes out, right? Because it comes in and then it comes out. And when it's coming out, it's got all the junk in it. And that's where it really becomes very dangerous. It's very dangerous anyway. So, you know why we have so many tsunamis, Jim? Global warming. Well, didn't we have them before that? Well, yeah, we had them before that. How about hurricanes? Hurricanes are worse now. Oh, no, they're just bad. They're all hurricanes are global warming. I'm not a global alarmist. What happened? Homer?
No.
Them? Us? What happened?
Hendricks is still up.
Why?
Errant throw.
Why are you doing it? But that's now we're on base.
Yeah.
The last errant throw was they were on base. Yeah,
we're on base, and the guy. Well, you got to turn it on. What's wrong with you? Are you inept?
I'm watching the show.
You're not. There's nothing going on the show.
This is our show. This is what's going on right now.
Are we?
Okay, so you're doing the Trump segment?
Yes. But this is now. Now is then. Now it's now.
But what's then is then.
That's a book.
What are they reviewing?
Never show this again. I don't know, Jim. You're watching.
What's going on here?
I don't know, Jim. We're going to do the Trump segment.
You're listening to the IRS Radio Hour with attorney Stephen Leahy on AM 560, The Answer. Attorney Stephen Leahy brings his passion and expertise to your radio each and every week during the IRS Radio Hour. Tune in, take notes, and be educated. Learn your options resolving financial obstacles that face so many. And now, back to the IRS Radio Hour with your host, attorney Stephen Leahy.
Hoo-hoo! We have returned! This is the IRS Radio Hour, like the guy just said, on AM 560, The Answer. Here with Deborah Schreiner, Jim Leahy, having lots of fun. Thanks for joining us. I hope you listen to those sponsors and go to those sponsors. And remember, we're going to have the new show that we just talked about, and we're going to talk about more about it. But not now, because we're going to talk about something else now.
We're talking about Trump. Trump!
Take a look at my Twitter account.
President Trump!
Sort of amazing.
We're talking about Trump. Trump!
America first.
President Trump!
Together, we will make America great again. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.
God bless America, Jim. Lindsey Graham was saying just as much. The God bless America.
I couldn't believe it.
I know.
The guy stepped up in a big way.
Now, what I wanted to talk about, because we talk about Kavanaugh, and everybody's talking about Kavanaugh. I wanted to mention about Trump with Kavanaugh, because of course Trump is the one that put him up there, and Trump is the reason why they're all against him, right? Because I think if anybody else put him up there wouldn't be this animosity towards him. And they've already told us, no matter who you put up, he could probably put up Garland, the guy that Obama put up, and they wouldn't put him in. You're supported by Trump. I can't put you in. And so, but I got to give Trump a lot of credit. He's played this fairly well. He hasn't attacked a woman. We know everybody's waiting for, and I'm sure that the Democrats thought for sure he was gonna blow this and make it, give a lot of bad press, and it was gonna be played up all over the place. But he hasn't. He's done a pretty good job, and his unwavering support of Judge Kavanaugh, and of course they talk about this.
Have you thought at all about a replacement for Judge Kavanaugh?
Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit. And he shouldn't. Ride this out. As long as the nominee is willing to take this abuse, and it is abuse, there's no doubt about it.
It's all politically motivated. It's not a care
and
about anybody getting
it's not. As long as he's good, taking this abuse, then the Trump should stand behind him, as all the senators should stand behind him.
Now, we record Friday, show is Sunday, so there might have been a lot going on this weekend.
I understand,
so again, we might be a little bit behind the times, but we're just reporting on what we have up at this point. So I want to clarify that for the listeners out there.
So initially, right, they were going to have the vote on Friday in the committee, and they did, and they passed it out of committee.
We
11 to 10
at that point. Yeah,
11 to 10.
Yeah.
Now the next vote is supposed to be Tuesday against for the floor on the floor of the Senate.
Oh, but
now
Flake
whether they
called.
have it or not, I don't know. But again, as they said, that's up to McConnell and not up to Grassley in the committee. So Flake has said he won't vote for him unless they give him a week to do an FBI investigation, which is just it's false. I mean, there's nothing there. It's a waste of time. It's not going to resolve
FBI is going to come back and say, and actually,
I know, but see, what will happen is there may be more allegations. We don't know what he did when he was in 8th grade, Jim. He might have done this when he was in 8th grade.
Rachel Mitchell, the Arizona prosecutor, questioned Christine Blasey Ford at Thursday Senate privately told GOP Senator she would not prosecute Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh based on the evidence she has heard.
Of course not. There isn't any evidence.
I know, but there's no evidence.
There is no evidence.
It's his word versus her word.
And again, it's a terrible thing when people are assaulted. As you see with her, it affects them for the rest of their life. But it's also you can't go around willy-nilly accusing people of things.
No, we
already had the Duke lacrosse. We had the Duke lacrosse. You had the guys down in with the Rolling Stone article that turned out to be false. Richard Jewell, that they accused of bombing at the Olympics, false. Ruined somebody's life. It seems somebody comes forward and accuses someone, and we just assume that it's right.
Too, if you ruin somebody's life, you put them through you put them in jail, and you put them through the whole process. When they get out, they're going to press charges. It'd be wrongful, and a lot of these times,
it is wrongful.
Cases.
Now, some woman just was sentenced for falsely accusing somebody of raping her, and it turned out to be false, and she was sentenced to prison.
To legitimize, again. We have to take these allegations seriously.
Okay,
but it's weaponized. But they weaponize
again. You should take them seriously, and but you don't just believe just because someone said something.
Exactly,
because it's ruined people's lives.
You need to have evidence.
You got to have evidence,
and that's what we are.
And it can't be a witch hunt. You can't. That's what it's based on. And
anyway,
that's just
ladies
the way
and gentlemen, if you're looking for help with IRS taxes, remember, Open Tax Resolution is there for you. 312-664-6649, or visit ChicagoTaxTeam.com. It's going to be your help to fight the IRS. Also, too, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Jim Leahy with That Properties. Give me a call if you're planning on selling tomorrow, and we'll talk about it today. 847-271-3695. Now, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. Listen to our sponsors and come right back because Mr. Know-It-All's coming up on AM 560.
The Answer.
5-2.
I am so enamored. You like that word? With this camera.
Oh, I know.
Setup. I am so enamored with it.
What's the question this week?
So what you're saying is you're pretty happy about it.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly.
What's the question this week?
What is it called? Mevo? Vivo?
Mevo.
Mevo? MEVO?
Correct. A wise one. I'm doing back into my Johnny Carson thing.
Is it made by Vivo?
It is not made by Vivo. Vimo is the kind of the Google place. They're associated with them. It's
with Vivo.
Yes, Vimo.
I do have to
Isn't
say,
Vimo? Isn't it Vimo? Isn't Vimo like the Google? Oh no, YouTube, like a
Vivo.
YouTube.
Vivo is like YouTube.
Is it Vivo?
Isn't it?
I thought it was Vimo.
Oh,
I don't know.
Oh,
what's going on, Jim? In the corner? Did you catch it?
Yeah. Hey guys, there's a Cubs game going on here. We'll talk about me.
Jimmy and I are Cub fans, and my wife is a big Cub fan.
We're at the station right now, not really watching the Cubs.
My wife was a huge Cub fan before we got married because I had season tickets when I met her, and I used to take her to lots of games with me, and she would go to the games, and we'd have so much fun. They had the.
What's your question this week? Hey, what's your question this week?
Wild Hair and Armadillo. I don't know if you knew this. It was a reggae joint across on Clark Street. We used to go there a lot of dance reggae after the game. Oh, it was a lot of fun.
It sounds awesome. What's the question this week?
Since we got married.
Those are fun memories for
Since
your
we got
anniversary.
Married,
Let's go. Focus. What's the question this
I
week?
know the question.
Yeah, we got Cubs game to go.
The
here,
question
man. We got
is
a game
this.
Going on.
The question is this. I was divorced some years ago, and the judge said that the husband keeps the house, and then he didn't pay the mortgage, but I'm still on the mortgage. And I have it written down. Let me get it down. Okay, well, let's do it. I'm ready.
Welcome back to the IRS Radio Hour with attorney Stephen Leahy. Stephen has helped hundreds of Chicagoans recover from financial disaster, and he wants to help you and your family. There are resolutions, and you will hear about all those resolutions during today's informative discussion on the IRS Radio Hour on AM 560 The Answer. Now, here's your host, attorney Stephen Leahy.
Welcome back. I am the tax man here on AM 560, The Answer, with Deborah and Jim. We're going to talk about taxes. But first, before I go into this segment, I wanted to mention, I think it was last week or the week before, I talked about corporate returns and the late fee as it comes to corporate returns. Well, I got a call from somebody because I was listening to the show. She said, I was on my car and I heard you talking about it. And she said, I have this problem. So I did a little bit more research. I told you that this is something and I did find might be some exception to having to pay the fee. You have to apply for it. You got to get an abatement, but there might be a way out because this is big money for a lot of people, right? It's been in this one woman's case, they call it had been 3 or 4 years now as a partnership, and if you do $4,000 4 years, that's $16,000 plus penalty. Plus interest. So anyway, there might be a way. So call me if you got that question. If you have you started a corporation some years ago and you haven't filed a tax return, call me. We'll talk about it. But this week, I got another call from someone this week, and it was she said, my divorce was concluded last year, and my ex got the home and all the debt.
And now, here's that man with a head just crammed full of knowledge, Mr. Know-It-All.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
That's what happens when I
Are we
get
not
off
going to do anything for this show? We have. I know you're fired up at Tracy Stephen Lee, but let's Law and Order 3-1. I was going to give out your number.
312-664-6649.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen. Yes.
Okay, I'm going to run out of time. So my divorce was concluded last year. I forgot to do the intro. I am a professional, and I can go on without it. Ex got the home with the debt in the divorce, but the bank still recognized her as the borrower. And this happens a lot because people say, well, the judge said I'm not liable for it anymore. Well, guess what? You're still on the promissory note. You're still liable for it. The bank does.
Tenancy entirety?
The bank, if you're divorced, there's no tenancy by the entirety. I understand. That goes away.
Oh, that goes away?
Yeah, because you're not divorced. Now it becomes a joint tenant. But anyway, and then her ex sold the home at a short sale for $300,000 less, and now they're going to come after with a 1099-C. And she's like, "Well, I moved out 2 years ago, So is that still my primary residence? Because remember, one of the exceptions to a 1099-C is the Mortgage Forgiveness Act. And the Mortgage Debt Forgiveness Act is about your primary residence or principal residence. And she hadn't lived there for 2 years because they were separated for 2 years before they got divorced. So she's asking me, is there a way I can get around this? This $150,000 I'm going to have to pay in taxes, and I said, oh, there might be this. And I got to the bottom of it. But it's, if you lived in there the 2 years out of the last 5 years, you still could count it as your principal residence. So in this case, it's still going to be your principal residence. We're going to be able to avoid taxes on over $150,000. So even at a 25% tax rate, right, is 75 is $37.50 in taxes, $37,000 in taxes. So to avoid that is big. It's huge. Yeah. Okay, so there are ways, but it's like every law. There's exceptions. There's limitations. There's there's definitions, and all of this really is what makes the law. How does it work for me? How will that law work for me? And so that's what we do, is that we try to, and that's why, again, a lot of this, especially with 1099-Cs, which is a forgiveness of debt. So even if I have a credit card and I come up with a deal with the credit card company, they say, oh, you owe us $10,000. And I say, hey, will you settle for $2,500? They say, yeah, we'll settle for $2,500. So then I pay them the $2,500. Well, that's the other $7,500 is they're going to send me a 1099-C as debt forgiveness, and I'm going to pay taxes on that $7,500 as like it was income. Well, that's a lot of money still. But when you start talking about $300,000, now it gets.
Now we're talking big.
So you got to get somebody. When you're talking about that kind of stuff, you don't do this yourself. Find somebody that knows what they're doing. Not all tax preparers do, and I'd say most don't. So be very careful. It's like hiring a bankruptcy lawyer when you have tax debt. Don't do that. Again, at least not one that doesn't understand taxes. And so make sure you find someone that can help you. We can help you at Open Tax Resolution. We help the 1099-Cs all the time. We fight
Don't worry,
all
I'll
the
give
time.
them the number.
Okay, you're going to give them the number.
That's right.
Okay, well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to say, I hope that answered your question.
Thank you, Mr. Know-It-All.
That's right. Thank you, Mr. Know-It-All. Attorney Stephen Leahy, that's one thing, people really need to understand this, and, people don't really have that kind of grasp around the law. This is why it's important to have representation. We talk about it all the time.
Well, that's why.
All the time.
That's why I think a lot of these kinds of questions is not a tax preparer question. It's a legal question, and that's why you should. That's why when you have IRS problems, you should turn to an attorney that understands the legal implications of these things.
People step out and think that they can interpret
exactly,
the law.
And so many. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago about CPAs who think that,
exactly.
Oh, I'm a CPA, I could do this for you. No, you can't.
Being a real estate,
it's a whole different area. It's a whole different area.
Being a real estate agent, I have people ask me questions all the time, and I go, "Listen, this is a question that you should consult an attorney for."
And actually, if it's a legal question, you shouldn't answer it because it's called practicing law without a license. I think that too many people get away with practicing law without a license. But the problem with people practicing law without a license is they're not giving you good information.
That's right.
They're not lawyers, and that's why you need a lawyer to help you do this, and it's just that important.
And that attorney would be Stephen Leahy with Open Tax Resolution. 312-664-6649 and visit ChicagoTaxTeam.com. It's going to be your hub to fight the IRS. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Jim Leahy with That Properties. If you're thinking about moving tomorrow, give me a call today, 847-271-3695. Also, too, ladies and gentlemen, listen to our sponsors and come right back because we're going to wrap this up IRS Radio Hour style on AM 560.
The Answer.
It's a frame of.
I know, but
Jim, when it gets closer to Christmas time, and I think it's Lexus starts running those commercials where they have the giant bow on the cars.
Yes.
Will you say, "We're gonna wrap this up IRS Radio Hour style by putting one of those giant bows on your car"?
It's wrapping it up. I get it.
Jim did not laugh
at
all.
I liked it.
He's not.
No, I'm
Are
so
you focused
engripped
on the game?
Yeah, it's getting
What's the
down
score
to the
now?
wire. It's 5-2. Guy on third. 2 outs.
Their guy on third?
Yeah.
What inning is it?
Top of the 8th. Hendricks still pitching 96
Wow,
pitches
he's
in.
been unbelievable the last couple of games.
You're not going to give him that call. He's been all day, and you're not giving him that call. Anyway, let's wrap the show up.
Okay.
Let's go wrap the show up.
You're listening to the IRS Radio Hour with attorney Stephen Leahy on AM 560, The Answer. Attorney Stephen Leahy brings his passion and expertise to your radio each and every week during the IRS Radio Hour. Tune in, take notes, and be educated. Learn your options resolving financial obstacles that face so many. And now, back to the IRS Radio Hour with your host, attorney Stephen Leahy.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I am not your host, attorney Stephen Leahy, but your co-host and your future realtor, Jim Leahy, with Ad Properties, 847-271-3695. Remember, if you're thinking about moving tomorrow, you start giving me a call, and let's start planning today. It's kind of
I get it.
It's a word.
Although I don't think people are going to move tomorrow, call you today. But
it's really,
I get it.
Tomorrow. Anyway, I am joined by birthday boy, attorney Stephen Leahy. Happy birthday to you, attorney Stephen Leahy.
I'm blushing.
As you should. As you should. Stop. Don't say it for the radio
If your
listeners.
birthday is tomorrow, start planning for it today.
Very good, Debbie.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we record Friday's show, where it's Sunday. So Thursday night, we were at the Cubs game against Pittsburgh. Wow, what a great game that was.
It was a great game.
You know what? This is tough, too, because we record on Friday, and it's kind of during the day, and they do Facebook Live to watch a game. So, again,
the game's there.
The season is already wrapping up.
How about
the season's already wrapping up on Sunday.
Sunday's last
game.
game
is games are over.
of the season.
But you know what?
Amazing.
I'm watching this right here on this Friday afternoon going, whoa, I'm really not.
You know what
I'm
else
really
is
distracted.
surprising, Jim? The Bears are in first place.
We don't, well.
This Friday.
They play today.
Today they're in first place.
Friday they're in first place. Yeah, Bears.
But today they're in first place.
Oh, man,
who would think that we could lose against the Packers on the first game and still be in first place?
Enjoy it while it lasts,
I agree
right?
with that. I agree with that.
Yeah, for real.
I agree with
When was the last time the Chicago Bears were in
that.
first place?
Didn't Minnesota just play last night, too?
They played Thursday night and they lost.
They lost, so that's good for us.
That's
good.
big.
That is good. Okay, so anyway, I wanted to go to Cubs. I'm going to go tomorrow, I think on my birthday, Saturday. I probably won't go on Sunday. My wife has been very patient with me and understanding. I don't want to push it too much because
She wants to spend some time with you and
what-
celebrate.
But you know what will happen next week when we go to the playoffs? I'll be at the ball game.
Yeah,
so I got to ask her for more patience next week.
But in the dead of winter, in the spring and summer, she's all yours. You're all hers.
I'm all hers. That's right.
You're all hers.
That's right.
But for right now, I gotta focus.
It's kind of important.
Unless the Bears
I can't
go
try to tell her that.
the
but
Bears
honey,
go to the playoffs.
We've been married 21 years. We had 21. We had 21 of these. This is only the fourth time in a row that we've gone to the playoffs.
The Bears go to the playoffs, and I
that'll
gotta
be
commit
big.
myself to that. And then if the Hawks do well, I gotta
Well, the
watch Blackhawks too.
It is
Listen,
true.
I got to do that. Yeah, I have Deborah in the other room.
I know
just
she's
dying
laughing. I know she's laughing. Not on that Bears. I know it was sports.
That's all you watch.
It's sports. That's okay. She doesn't watch sports. As I told you when we dated, she loved the Cubs. No,
My
after we got
girlfriend
married,
asked me
not
that.
too much.
You get so miserable with the games. I just wish they were all bad so you didn't have to focus. I looked at her, I was like, I would be miserable all the time.
I got to say that I am nervous. These last games with the Cubs.
This weekend has got you nerve-wracked.
Who thought that Milwaukee would sweep the Cardinals in St. Louis?
But we don't even know if they swept the the Detroit Tigers yet.
No, we
so
don't
it's
know.
Like, we don't know
I
what's
think
going on.
If they go out 6 games in a row, win 6 games in a row,
scary.
that's amazing. That's amazing.
It is. So, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, what's amazing is open tax resolution.
That is amazing.
Record of helping people. 312-664-6649 or visit chicagotaxteam.com. It's going to be your hub to fight the IRS. Also, too, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Jim Leahy with Hat Properties. If you're thinking about moving tomorrow, give me a call today. 847-271-3695. You can catch us on YouTube. You can catch us on Facebook. Just look up Attorney Stephen Leahy on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, same bad time, same bad channel on that one station we know and love. AM 560.
The answer.
Like how I did.
I'm becoming much of an editor. I'm learning how to move put the.
Well, I'm becoming much of a fan of the show, and I have had a wonderful time. Happy birthday to you, Attorney Stephen Leahy. Deborah Schreiner, best in the business. Thank you so much for what you do to make this show.
Boy, y'all want power. God, I hope you never get it.
Boy, I hope you never get it.
I love that little.
I do too.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. We have to run. I got a Cubs game to go catch.
No, I miss my brother all the time. But I really miss him on my birthday. First off, we spent a lot of time together.
Are you really doing this right now?
Yes.
It's the bottom of the 8th
Yes, we spent
inning.
a lot of time together. But he used to also make me lasagna for my birthday, and I'm not getting lasagna for my birthday.
That was a special treat.
That he did it every year. And
mother
because you like it?
I know. My favorite, my very favorite. Only the way his mom and
my mom makes it with those homemade
meatballs. It's a layer on. Oh, it's just awesome. It's the best lasagna ever.
But I'm trying to get back home. They also have beef stew. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in.
Gotta go back here and turn it off. I gotta turn it off. We're gonna go home with it.
With it on. We'll be
hey. Okay.
Have a good one.
Next week.